these are the ingredients that you will need. You will need some oats, some maple syrup or any kind of sweetener you want, or you could skip this part, some pumpkin puree, and some kind of non-dairy milk. I'm using some unsweetened vanilla almond milk, but you could use whatever you want. These are the spices that I'm using. I'm using some cinnamon, some cloves, ginger, nutmeg, and cardamom. But if you have some pumpkin pie spice mix, you can just use that instead. Now when it comes to toppings and extras, you could always add whatever you want, but I just want to show you some of the things that I like to use. And I mix it up, so I'm just giving you all of the different ways I make it. I like to either add some flaxseed or chia seeds to give it some healthy omegas, and it also thickens it up. I usually go with a chia seed. And sometimes I will mash up a banana and mix it with everything, or you could just slice it and add it to the top. And I like to add either cranberries or raisins to give it a little sweetness, and then some kind of nut. I either usually go with pecans or pumpkin seeds, but you could use walnuts, cashews, almonds, whatever you want. And if you happen to have this, I love putting some of this on top for an extra granola crunch. And this is some pumpkin flax granola cereal by Nature's Path. And I think it just really goes very nicely. And again, you could play around with any kind of topping you want. I just wanted to give you some options. You're just gonna mash up a banana, and this part is optional, so if you don't want the banana, you don't have to do that. Or if you do want a banana, you could also cut it up in slices and just add it in at the end or on top. You're gonna add about a cup of pumpkin. Now you're gonna add how much sweetness you like. I'm gonna add about 2 to 3 tablespoons. I'm adding a cup of oats, a cup of the non-dairy milk. I am going to add about 2, not that much. That's why I guess people use measuring cups. I'm gonna use 1 to 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. I am using about 2 teaspoons to about a half a tablespoon of cinnamon, about 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, or 1/8 of a teaspoon. Cloves goes a long way, probably 1/8 teaspoon. And same with the nutmeg, about 1/8 teaspoon. I just grind some in. And with the ginger, you want to do like 1/4 teaspoon. And the cardamom, I do about 1/8 teaspoon. And now you're just gonna mix it up. Okay, it's all mixed up. I'm going to put it in some kind of container. I'm using a mason jar, and put it in the fridge overnight. And now if you want, you could add things like raisins and nuts and mix it in here. Or you could do what I'm gonna do and just add it on top right before you're about to eat it. And I just put it in a mason jar. You could use any kind of container you want. And you could either add your toppings now, or you could do it the next day when you're about to eat it, which is what I'm gonna do. Now you're just going to put it in your refrigerator and let it sit overnight. It's the next day and the oats are ready. So after you let it sit overnight and it is ready, you can add your toppings, and you could either eat this cold or you could heat it up. So I'm just going to add some raisins. And some chopped pecans. And I am adding the cereal, the pumpkin flax granola. And that's it. It's ready to eat. You can stir it around, mix it a little bit. And I'm just gonna eat it cold, but again, if you wanted, you could heat it up.